Yo, what is up, dudes? So we have a new item here from Donner, one that I'm very excited to check out. This is the Donner Integrated Podcast Workstation. It has a bunch of cool features, and I can't wait to give a run through. It's basically a way to attach up to 4 microphones or 4 instruments, or a combination of the two. It can store little samples, it can Bluetooth in outside audio, it can actually run out and go into your PC or Mac as a audio interface device. It's got a lot of features. I think it can actually record to itself through a little like micro SD card. So there's a lot of features built into this thing. Let me just bring it over here and show you what it looks like. The old Donner Integrated Podcast Workstation. There you go. That's a good look at it. And so I thought what we would start is we'll do a little unboxing, and then we'll check it out. We'll plug a bunch of different devices into it and see what we get. All right, so let's open it up and see what comes inside, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. I think I probably have to just push this down and this out. Look at me. Maybe like this. Waka waka. And there you go. There's the outside sleeve. I'm gonna do it right here. And we'll do it right here. Show you what's inside. First thing is a create the moment. This is probably, it's like a quick guide. Like that. Right there. There you go. Quick start guide. Show you how to use it. Get it going. Right there. Show it over here. There you go. All right. Quick start guide. And we have, this is probably the accessories in here. Yep. We have a power supply right there. And I'm assuming USB. Yeah, right there. Right there, USB cable. A to C, yeah. Right there. I got multiple angles going today. And then last but not least, the actual unit itself. I'll take this out. Okay, it's got a little weight to it. And then there's a big user manual. And let me just move the box off the table. There we go. There is the, I gotta peel this a little off like that. And we'll get it off to the side. And here we go. This is what your podcaster looks like. Wow. Looks pretty good. There you go. All right. Let's look at the top. Oh yeah. There's, you can see from, I guess, would be your left to right, the power, switch, and then the power, jack. And I think that's the micro SD slot, followed by a gaming port, I believe, right? The gaming port right there. Yeah. An optical line. USB-C. Then you can see there's 4 stereo headphone outs. There's tip ring sleeve balanced 1/4 inch outs. There's a, I guess, what is that, a 1.5 millimeter line out, right, the little 1/8 inch jack, line in and line out. I believe those are stereo pairs. And then of course you have your line ins. So ins 4 and 3, if we're working from left to right, are, I believe, all 4 of them can do instruments, right? You'll see there's a hole in the center for a guitar jack, but it's a multi-jack, so it can also do the 3-prong. And 4 and 3 are for condenser mics, and 2 and 1 are for dynamic mics. And they actually tune the preamps a little different. The dynamic is, I think, a little cooler. I think the condenser is maybe a little hotter, or vice versa. And the other thing is 4 and 3 send out a 48 volt signal to get the condenser mic to work, where 1 and 2 do not. So if you have an SM57, SM58, SM7B, you're going in a 1 or 2. If you have like a Lewitt, a 440, or any one of those big, large diaphragm, MXL, large diaphragm microphone, you can run it into a 3 or 4. All right, there you go. Yeah. And then the bottom, anything, just feet, and that's it. Anything on the front? Nope. Anything on the sides? Just holes to let heat out, right? A little airflow. And I think that's it. All right. Well, what I need to do now is hook some stuff up to it. We'll get some microphones out. I'll try both. I have both dynamic and condenser mics here. This is actually a condenser mic. It needs a battery to run. But I have a Lewitt mic I can use as a condenser mic, and I have a SM58, I think, that I can use as a dynamic mic. And we can check them out, and we'll dive into all the features, and there you have it. So I will see you in a sec. Yo, all right, so we are back. I have it plugged in. I was able to cut and slice and load up a bunch of samples to it, and we'll go over that whole process. But let's just look at the unit now that it's all lit up and it's going. We'll just look at it from left to right. The first thing you notice are the 4 volume knobs here on the left. These are for the various items. So this is E, which is the pads. This are the 4 inputs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if I want to do something with one of these, like say I wanted to mute this one, hit mute, it goes down, goes back up again. Solo, right? If this is the mix for this set of headphones, this output, so check, that's the main out. So you should be able to see that. Let me see, check. Yeah, there it goes. And there goes the extra mic. All right. So that's the output when it turns white. When it's blue, that's the headphone. Right? See the difference? And yeah, see, even when I turn that up, it doesn't make a difference because wait, this mic. See? Well, messes with your head. It saves a snapshot per output. So when it's blue, you're looking at the output snapshot for the headphones. When it's white, you're looking at the main output. All right. So let's just go like this. All right. That's for the headphones, but that's for the main. All right. This is for headphone number 2. I can make this very different. Headphone number 1, headphone number 2, headphone number 3. But when I click this again, it goes to the main output. So at any time, I can go to the main output and work on the main output. All right. There's headphone number 4. There's that main output. See how it looks like that, right? And there's one, and so forth. If you watch these LEDs, you can see that once you get past a certain point, they change the color to let you know you're at the end, and it might be a little overblown. This is probably 0, and it's like plus 1, 2, and 3 dB. So just keep an eye on that. As I said, you know, if you mute, it gets rid of it. If it solos it, it brings everything else down. But that's bank 1. And if you look on the screen here, you can see bank 1 is 2 dynamic microphones, because that's what goes into 1 and 2. 2 condenser microphones, because that's what goes into 3 and 4. And then like the pad, like the central audio. So if I hit a, you can see it going there. Right, if I hit one of the pads. And we'll get into the whole pad thing in the sampler in a little bit. But if I go to bank 2, I have different items. The Bluetooth, right? The toss link in, I think that is. And because it shows a link and then an in. And then I think that might be the stereo line in. I'm running out of the stereo line out to do my recording. And then the bank is a virtual bank. This is like music, computer. This is done, I think, over the USB, right, for the virtual tracks. And then we get to effects. Now, you'll notice here that the effects are on input number 1, dynamic, input number 2, input number 3. But if I tap that, we go inside of the effects. And you can see I have it set up because I'm using a condenser microphone. I have it set up for a condenser microphone. They have a bunch of presets that set up all of the effects to some good starting point for you to work with from there. So a good starting point, if you're plugging in a condenser microphone, is choosing condenser. And then down here you can get granular and get into the actual items, the noise gate, the compressor. And they have a bunch of compressors in here, but they pick the LA3A as the, you know, standard for a condenser mic. They would choose the 2A if I had chosen dynamic. You see that? Just a good starting point, but you can choose any one of these. We'll stick with the 3A. And then there's a de-esser with a bunch of parameters. If you want to turn it off, you just hit this button over here. That turns it on and off. And you'll see once it goes on and off here, it also lights up here. So even when you're not in the screen, you know which effects are on. And again, an equalizer. All right. So let's go to the next one, sampler. And there's a bunch you want. So it's telling me underneath these that there's names there. 12 bar, hand B, loop co, continue, another hand B, and we'll get into why all those are all three are named hand B. And then Z100MU, Z100MU, again, two that are the very similar, but they're not the same. And what happens is these are all derived from the same sample. I took slices out of a sample to make these samples, right, using the software. And we'll get into that in just a couple of minutes. Well, let me just go over the rest of the pads, and then we'll go deep into the software. So just give me a few more seconds here to just finish this out. So in the sampler, you can see pad 17 is blank, right? I could go to pad 17, and I could assign this to a color. I'm going to assign it to that orange, and then I can assign it either to a quick effect or a sample sound. I'll say sample sound, and then I go down here to record, and we'll just do this. Check, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that recorded it. Did it? Maybe not. Make sure I have the sampler listening to the right item. You know, it might have played and I didn't see it. Let me check one more time. No, nothing. Okay. Why not? It is because you're here, you're on sampler. I have to tell it. Oh, it should do it. Sample sound. Are we on here? We go back to bank 1. Check, check. Oh, yeah. Check, check, check. 1, 2. All right. Well, that should be working. Let's go to... Oh, you know why? Because the main out, I have it down. Let's try it now. Check, check, check. 1, 2. All right. Now let's try it. We're figuring this out in real time. Now we go here. Now we go to pad 17. Now we sample a sound. Now we hit record. Hello, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That'll work. Hello, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And there you go. All right, so you're very easily able to, I'm using this mic here. You're very easily, now they're both working. I gotta bring this back down again. You see how I was able to just easily record my own sample. Now, I could have recorded a guitar. I could have recorded a cowbell. We'll always need more cowbell. But I just did a little vocal thing. But you can see that it's wide open. You can record up to 5 minutes, as I think the sample limit. So it's pretty generous. Let's go to the third bank. So that's bank 2. Let's go to first bank. Oh, wait, I'm still in the sampler. Let me click done. And then it should still be there. No, I'm still in sampler mode. Sorry. Hello, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If you're still in sampler mode and you press a pad, it assumes you want to sample again. And it brought me to the recorder again. All right. Let's go back to these other banks. It comes with a bunch of... that's right here. Let me use this way. I'm using the wrong mic here. It comes with a bunch of sounds built in. I think it's like applause. They blink when the sample is still playing. Right? You see how they're still blinking? A pretty long sample. And if you're tired of listening to it, just press it again and it stops it. A classic. All right, we could have done without that one. This is the one I had loaded earlier. That's a completely long, so I can go. And welcome to Evening Jazz on the Jazz Factory. Right. And notice when I hit it again, it fades out because I had set a fade on that. Welcome to country. Country. You're in country. Everything's about country. It's country. I press again and it fades out. Gives me a nice little backdrop. Continuous country. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now let's go to, and again, we have a bunch here. Right, I have a bunch C100 that I have all loaded in. Hello, including the one I just did. Let's go to the third bank. You notice that these are fairly empty. Is there something here? Check 1, 2. This is me checking, doing something earlier, trying to get this to work. You'll see we have 4 lit pads here. Each one of these is assigned to an effect. The problem is I don't... you should be able to hear it, even with this microphone on. Ready? So you talk one way like this, and then all of a sudden, check 1, 2, the robot sound. Robot. I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. All right, you know what? Let me get rid of this mic here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we'll try it. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I think I still hear a little bit of the regular voice coming through along with the robot voice. It doesn't seem to be 100%. Check, 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 1 2. This is a pitch shifter, shifting the pitch, and I believe I can go in on this if I go to the effects and then work the pitch. I can work the pitch
way up. Now all of a sudden I'm a Glenn Fricker. This is everyone who ever writes into Glenn Fricker. Immediately make them sound like this. And then
you go the other way and make it sound a little deeper, like this. Hello. Funny stuff. And then to get rid of the pitch, we just hit it again.
And the pitch is gone, right?
Pitch on.
Pitch off.
Pitch on.
Pitch off. And to change it, you can just go in and
change it right there.
I change it right there.
And it's set to quick enable.
Right, that's what you do. You set it to quick enable and you assign it to the pad. And one press turns it on.
One press turns it off. All right, the next one is the megaphone. Why the hell isn't this working? Oh, it's right there. And check, there it goes. How to get the right input. Again, I knew it was a routing issue. There it goes. We'll be cutting this video slightly. Megaphone 1, Megaphone 2. Megaphone 3. I think I like Megaphone 1. Check, 1 2, yeah. That sounds like a telephone call, right? And what am I assigned to here? Check, 1 2, yeah. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Yeah, thanks for taking my call there, Steve. You know, I'm really worried about the Red Sox this year. Oh, yeah? And then how so? Well, you know, I just feel like, you know, the trade deadline's come and gone, and what have we really done here? And, you know, every time they give us a glimmer of hope, our hopes are dashed when we lose to the worst goddamn team in all of baseball. You know, you're making a lot of good points right there, but, you know, you can't win them all, and this might be one of our worst years. Thanks for calling. And then C100. And then you can do your little post, right? Come on down to the truckery. We got trucks, and we got trucks with trucks. The kind of trucks we got, well, we got the kind of trucks you need. So come on down, talk to Roy, or me. I'm Steve, down at the truckery. Right, writes itself. All right, we'll put this back up again, just so we have a full volume. So you can see what's happening there. I have these temporary things. Again, I knew it was an assignment thing. And I wonder what that's going on with the auto-tune as well. Let me check the auto-tune sampler. Because I was having trouble getting the auto-tune. It's either a very subtle effect or I don't have it assigned correctly. So if we go to effects and we go to there and we say auto-tune in 1, in 3, and then we turn it on. Check. It says it's on, but I was expecting more of like a T-Pain style, you know. Check, there's the pitch. Check, there's the robot. check. There's the megaphone. And there, because the auto-tune off, auto-tune on. I was hoping it was going to be like, the T-Pain effect, but I think you have to run something in the background, because I'm noticing it's set to the key of A. So I have to think that it's some sort of tuning it. And then it's set to flex tune 100%. I wonder if I turn that down to 0? Check. Does that? No, see, it still doesn't give. See, usually when you set the parameter to be won't wave at all, it turns into that wavy, share, do you believe in life after love? But I'm not really hearing that. I don't know. And it's set to input number 3. We can try these other inputs. Check. No. In fact, that sounds a little different now. Check, right there. I wonder if it's changing the pitch maybe to correct it, but it's not doing what I was hoping it was going to be, which would be a funny effect. It's really, truly pitch correcting and not giving me the wacky T-Pain sound, which quite frankly, I would have preferred. Do that with a firmware update. Just have a T-Pain setting, because it's easily done. If you've got an auto-tuner, you can easily set it. You just limit the number of notes it can hit to literally 5. All right. And auto-tune is on. Yeah, you can hear it there a little bit, I think. Yeah. All right, what else? We covered the sampler. We can always do a sample. We'll choose a color and sample sound and record. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Record. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I hit it a little too quick. You hear me talking. Welcome to the all-new truckery. Welcome to the all-new truckery. There you go. I set it to done. It should be in there. So if I go back to bank 1. Welcome to the all-new truckery. Yeah. Nice. All right. You can also record tracks internally using the record and play button. So right now I'm recording myself, recording. I can pause the recording, and I think I hold it down and it stops. Yeah, it's done. Now it's done recording. I think I can play it back using the record and play button. So right now I'm recording myself, recording. There you go. So we'll try it again. Recording, check 1 2, check 1 2 3, check 1 1 2. If I press it again, it pauses it. I think it's recording again. When we listen back, we'll know. And then you hold it down, and then it stops. You hold it down to stop. Let's see what happened. Recording, check 1 2, check 1 2 3, check 1 1 2. I think it's recording again. When we listen back, we'll know. You see that? I stopped it for a little bit of a gap, and then I started it again, and there was no gap because it had paused it. So that's what the record button. One press, records. Second press, pause. Long press, stop. And there you go. That is about it. I think I've covered most of the main features to it. Again, I really like the pads. Let me show you a quick video, actually a very important video. Let me run that right now. Let me show you a very important video on how I got this like that. That's actually part of a much larger sample. So let me run that video and show you how I created that right now. All right, so I wanted to cover the Donner control software. So if you look, you have the mixer. It's showing the current state of the mixer. I don't know if this is real time. Yes, it is. See that? As I move it over here, it's real time. There's the effects. If I want to turn the effects on for any one of the channels, I can do that, right? The compressor, I can just turn that off, turn it back on again for channel 3 or any one of the channels. All right, and I can turn these effects on and off right through here. All right. If we go to samples, it's showing me the pads down here. Bank 1, Bank 2, Bank 3. I don't think I can double click though and actually bring the sample in. Because if I hit import sample, it opens a dialog box. It does, a file open box. So I don't think you can take the samples that are on the unit and pull them up here. Okay? It's a one-way street. It takes them from up here and sends them down there. And as you can see, I have a 12 bar here and I have something here. So let's find an empty one right here, pad 12. And I can change these colors. Maybe I'll make that yellow. Maybe I'll make that orange. Right, just to make them kind of stand out. Maybe make that red. And I can add a sample to this. So I'll say import sample. And then I want to go, I think it's under raw vid, and then podcast mixer. And then I can take, let's do, can I do continuous country? I'll play it. Continuous country. Okay. And I only want to play that once, but what I like to do is I like to fade. I find that they exit a little abruptly. I like the fade function. That way, and it builds this function into the pad itself. So now when I hit this, let me just, I'm going to bring this up a little closer so you can see it. If I hit this to fade, now when I send it down there, it's going to remember the fade function. And now let me just save the sample. And now that that's done, when I press the button once, if I press it again, you see how it fades out? No abrupt stop. Now, sometimes you want an abrupt stop. It just depends on, it just depends on the situation that you're in. But I just find that the fade sounds the most professional. Now, of course, I could play this back and just fade it out by ear, right? Right. And there you go. Let's go to pad 13. Let's make this like green. We'll give it a color. And let's, again, we'll import a sample. Let's do this Hanna B. This is a bunch of Hanna-Barbera samples, but they're all in one file. So it doesn't do me very good, So I've got to pick one. Let's just say that one, okay? So you see that one right there we just went past. So to do that, what I'll do is I'll bring this little arm, this little bar down here, and I don't have to be perfect here. I'll show you why. And then I'll bring this little bar back here. All right, that's pretty clean. And I'll say truncate. Now I can really see the sample. And I can bring this in to like right about here. And it seems to fade about completely, like right about there. And I'm gonna do a fade. I could try to do a one shot, but I think the fade, because it fades out at the end anyway. So let me try it. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And what I'll do is I will save the sample. Now it's going to save only this tiny little part. That's why it's going so quickly. And now when I go over to the unit and I press it, I get it, right? And I can do 2 at the same time. Right? You can launch more than one sample, at a time. So that's a nice little feature. Let's go to a new pad. Let's import a sample. Let's try that Hannah B again. I can just bring this bar somewhere in the middle. It's like I've already listened up to there. Oh, it's gonna jump. There it goes. A lot of footsteps. Anything different? Oh, that's not bad. Kind of a hit there. A lot of sort of running sounds. Again, more running. Oh, there's a nice hit. So I think it was right there. Let me bring this in. And let me bring this in. And let's truncate. And I feel like, did I miss the beginning of it? Can I undo the truncate? That would have been a good thing. Undo? No, you can't. Well, let's just try it. Can I go here? And there? And say truncate? And then say undo? Yeah. Okay. So I could have done that rather than import again. So where was it? Was it here? Yeah. So let's truncate. And I think it was just a little too sharp at the start. Yeah, a little better. A little better. Let's save the sample. That saves it down to the mixer, and now there it is. Right, and I have my samples, and you can do that with a lot of things. Let's import a sample. Let's do Z100.
Today's best music, Z100.
Right, so I could even just get this little.
Z100.
If I just wanted that little bit. Something like that.
Z100.
Maybe even tighten that in a little bit.
Z100.
All right, just to give me a little hit.
Z100.
Hit truncate and hit save sample. And that's going to do it once.
Z100.
And there's no fade.
Z100.
Let me set this to loop and see what happens when we do that.
Z100. Z100.
It loops it.
Z100. Z100.
Now, for a better loop, I would probably want to tighten this up like that. And then maybe even like here. Truncate, loop. Let's save the sample again. Say yes. There goes the sample.
Z100. Z100. Z100.
And it continues in a loop until I press the pad again. All right, so you can kind of see the power of the of the sample system. Again, let's do another one. Can we do Z100 music and call it something different? What is this?
Z100.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the static. Can we do this? And just send the whole thing over? You can. So now we should have two pads. One pad is going to have just the short hit that loops, and then the other one is the longer. So here's the longer. it is.
Today's best music.
And I stop it.
C100. C100.
All right? That's almost a little too tight.
C100. Today's best music.
Yeah. So there you go. Again, if I want that to fade out, I could have hit fade on that and hit save sample. And now it's going to save it again, but it's going to give it the fade, and it's going to tell the unit to fade out when I press the button to stop it. And we can just test that right here. You'll hear the difference.
Today's best music.
And there goes the fade. Perfect. All right. Let's go to bank 3. And this is an effects bank. I don't know that you do it from here. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the effects are done from the pad itself and not from over here. So I think we're done here. All right. As you know, you can save profiles. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to help yourself along. But we were able to set pretty quickly a half dozen. Right?
C100. C100.
All right. There you have it. This camera. All right. Let's go back to the big camera, and we'll take a closer look at the rest of the features. I'll see you in a sec. All right. So as you can see, very powerful stuff. You can set it to run once, run in loop mode like we did with this pad.
C100. C100.
We can set it to fade like we did with this pad. Press it again, and it fades out. All right, or we can do a single hit like, I think, hello, like that, or
Today's best music. C100.
just a single, and with no fade. Some of the stuff I pulled out of the Hanna-Barbera. Where is it? There.
Continuous country.
Oh, the fun. Oh, the fun you can have. So there you have it. I will leave a link in the description. I actually have an extra code for you. So look down there. I believe the code has a 100 in it. That might be an extra $100 off. No promises. But enter that code in the description if you're looking to get one of these and see how it rings up at Amazon. I think it's going to give you an extra $100 off, which is not an insignificant savings. I think these are at max like $5.99. And so with the coupon and sometimes extra, special sales because Prime Day is coming up. Look for one of these at probably a pretty damn good price. Just keep your eye out for that and use the code. There you go. All right, dudes. There you have it. The Donner PC-02 podcasting unit, up to 4 simultaneous speakers with all kinds of sample playing and effects and sample extraction and all kinds of fun. And there you go. And I didn't even mention this. You can plug a guitar into any one of those inputs. They are set and tuned for, like an acoustic electric, the Donner Silent guitar, their carbon fiber guitar. Actually, I don't think that's acoustic electric, but any one of their acoustic electrics would work fine through there. And there you go. All right, dudes. Links in the description. Make sure you use the code. Save you a little bit extra money. And there you have it. As always, thanks so much for hanging out. and rock on.